Well, hello, this is Mike Jacko with Minria and Real Estate Promo with another Flip It Friday video for you. And I want to talk about lease options, because lease options are a very, very powerful tool that a lot of people overlook, and they shouldn't be overlooking them. And I was actually really surprised because last week at our Minria meeting, I had asked the audience of over 200 people how many people had done a lease option and, at all for buying or for selling. And we only had like 10 people raise their hand. So I'm thinking at first, they're just quiet audience and they're not engaging and all that stuff. So then I asked again another question: how many people have done a contract for deed, either to buy or sell? And like 80% of the room raised their hands. I'm like, okay. So then I asked another one: how many people have done a subject to, for how many bought on property on a subject to? And 50% of the room or so had raised their hand. So it's like 80 to 100 people out of 200 plus people had raised their hand. And then I figured, okay, so the first question I asked, they just weren't engaging. So I went back and I asked how many people have done a lease option or a lease option to either buy or sell a property in the past at any point in their real estate career. And again, only the same about 10 hands went up, which was really, really shocking to me. And lease options are a great tool. One, though, from the buying side, they'll help you control the property and turn it into a cash flowing situation without actually owning the property. From a selling tool, it's one of the most powerful tools we can use. And I sell most of my stuff on lease options. Like typically I'll buy on a subject to, or sometimes a contract for deed. But I do most of my selling when I resell the properties on a lease with an option. And I think the problem is most people are trying to buy properties and then get out of them right away or hold on to them as rental properties. So I think it's time people start looking at the lease options again as a very powerful cash flowing tool. So I'll probably start doing more trainings and stuff on lease options again, because it was very popular in the early 2000s, and then it kind of faded away when the market crashed. And people were just buying rehabs and buying from the banks and stuff like that. And I think that tradition has kind of held true over the last several years. Now I've gone back to the lease options, but I've seen that most people have not been doing that. And I just spoke at another smaller RIA just here last night, and the numbers weren't quite as dramatic, but it was the same thing. Most people were doing subject tos and contract for deeds or land contracts, and they weren't focusing so much on the lease options. So I think you should probably start looking at the lease options again. And yeah, you're seeing a bunch of traffic in the background because I am on the road traveling from Youngstown, Ohio. I was just at the Mahoning Valley RIA, and I'm heading down to the Little Rock for the Arkansas RIA. And yes, I am on the bike. For those who are ever wondering about that, I just pulled over to a little town here and pulled into a McDonald's so I could share these thoughts with you guys. But here's a picture of the bike, so if you've never seen it before, that's the bike. And that's the bike and the trailer that I pulled behind me. So if you ever see me on the road, say hi, and I will hopefully maybe see you at one of the RIAs, and keep an eye out for the Flip It Friday videos. See you next week.